Hello, everybody. It's rough out there. Let's do today's CSS Daily Target, which is, what is it? Oh, wow. That's an interesting shape, isn't it? Okay. What is this shape? I mean, obviously, it's kind of a teardrop, surfboard type affair. The question is, what do we do to make that shape? We've got this circle. If we can create a circle that's exactly this, then we're sort of in business, right? And actually, what it makes me think is the way to do. So let's start with the blank template and try to create a circle with that edge on the right hand side. So let's remove the paragraph tag and see if we can make a circle. So that's a radial gradient, and that's at something like 25% horizontally. It's like somewhere over here is where the center radius of that is. And then transparent in the middle, maybe 100 pixels. And then that color, and then 0. So that's what that looks like to begin with. So let's do circle. Okay. If we move that over with 30%, 40, 30, 35, is that the shape? So what does that get us? Now if I put in the way deep background, linear gradient of the top color to the middle point, 50%, and then the bottom color, and then color stop it. Don't forget your commas between each one. All right, so that is too small. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 38, 37.5. Okay. So then if we do another one of those that only lets through an inner light, let's call it, and then move that one horizontally. If this is 37.5 pixels, what is it? Well, let's just increase 5, 6 to 62.5. There's your shape. Is it 100% match? That's the trick. Is it 100% match? Let's find out right now. And it's 99.9%, so not good enough. And I feel inclined to turn these into pixel values because I just said we have better luck with that. 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then this is 200 pixels, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And let's submit that and find out if we're in the ballpark. I hope we are. We are not. We're at 99.9%. So what does that mean? And what are we off by? Appalling. Difficult. Tricky. Let's take a drink. All right. Some folks swear by a blur 1 pixel sometimes. Would this help us? Is that a thing? Is that even having an effect? That is 99.9% still not the right thing. All right, so how do we do it? Do we need an element is the question. And if so, what element do we need? Okay. wish I could see maybe on the bottom. I can't quite see a difference. Like if you're looking at this, just not quite pleased with that. One thing, sometimes 90.5 pixels. I'm going to change this color stop to be a little fuzzy. Maybe even an explicit 91 pixels. Does that get us something? Oh, that's a little different on the div. Is it better? I don't know. That's 99.9%. Okay, so I think it's this one. Let's resubmit. We're just trying to tune that edge. Tune the edge of the circle here. No good. I cannot see the difference. I might cut bait on this one, but I do want to try another thing first. So this is a circle that's 180. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Let's do the line template again. Aspect ratio 1, height 180, border radius 50%. There's our circle, and then we have our linear gradient. Which is this light blue, 50%. Like so. Put our background on the body. Let's move the margins of this downward. 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. That's not bad. And then what if we did some weird thing, like a second paragraph tag, and this one we need to put into place by adjusting the margins. Margin. Okay. So the margins would be what? Minus 100, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 100, or 120. So in this case, I'm going to X out the background so that the first one's invisible. Or rather, I'm going to put this background only on this one. Let's see if I can put that into place by using margin. So it's up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 200, and then 3, 2, 1, 100, and then what? 2, 198, 7, 6. All right, so that's the second one. So now I'm going to do this very odd thing. So that is the intersection. And can I do mixed blend mode? Intersect. Difference. So that gives us an effect, but that's not what we need. That's really not what we need. And this is the wrong approach. But what I want to do is I'm going to put a background of nothing on it. Background of nothing. none. And I'm going to do an outline of 10 pixels solid this color. Outline is specifically not doesn't participate in adjusting the layout, unlike border. So that also gets us this shape. So we have two objects here, and you can see it if I turn the background off. So we have a transparent circle with this outline, and then we have another circle with that. And so let's try that. And that is 99.9% match. Terrific. Okay. This is just one of those times, right? Like, I can't see what's different. And so I have to be satisfied that 99.9%. There is a whole Discord channel for CSS Battle dedicated to 99.9%. What are you going to do? Sometimes you can't get it. Frustrating as that is. This is still a fun puzzle, and I feel satisfied that I've matched this shape. But clearly, the CSS Battle assessment gods are not happy for some aspect of this. Would it be something odd like the size of this? 50 pixels? What if we did this in pixels instead? 6, 7, 8, 9. How about 90 pixels and submit? Is that different from 50%? No. That is half the height of that object. Okay. And then what if we did it as a border instead? That would mean that we would need to make changes as to these numbers. If we added a border of 100, then we would need to add, what, 50 negative to go, so that would be what, 4, and then 5, or make that 50. Okay, or is it a full 100 that we need to go up? Oh yeah, we need to go 100, yes. Okay, so 2. We turn that border like that, and then we add 100 to each. 2, and then 2. No, 0. Maybe that's the thing. So that's now with a border and not an outline, so let's try that. What do we got? And that is also 99.9%. Is there something I'm missing about this? Could it be that it's not a circle? Well, I suppose that doesn't help us here, would it? What if we do 90 pixels? Or so border radius 90 pixels, which screws up the other way, right? The second circle. All right, so let's make it 90 pixels. And then let's adjust that number. How about 95? Does that give us anything different? No. How about 80? 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. Let's try that. I mean, it's not behaving correctly, so let's feed it different things. And it's calling that also 99, even though clearly we've got a diff there that is much worse than this value. Okay, so then what if we position these not with, so we do margin 0, we'll zero out the margins, margin 0, and then we're going to do display none on this guy. Unset the margins and do margin 0 and top or display or position rather absolute top 50 left 100 60 so there's the top and left. So where's this guy? That would make this one exactly those same things. So left would be another number, 100. 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And submit. So we turned off all the margins on the paragraph tag. Let's see what we get. Nope. Wrong. Okay. So let's see, what else can we try? Linear gradient, which is this 50% to that. And then this body on the background. Let's put margins on the element. And what can we do to 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 75, and then that height is 7, 8, 9, 130, 40, 40, 50. And then the margins need to go on bigger, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. Now what? Well, let's just submit that for giggles. Even though it's like 87%. Nope, that's 97% correct. That seems like too good a score for that shape, but I won't quibble. Border radius. Let's just do one of them. 60 pixels. So this is the odd syntax for border radius, radii. Right, like that's not great, right? That's not really good. So I think this is the final one. Can I get a number combination 50? So 50%, 75, and then 80, 7, 100. How about what if we did another one of those? That's the question. No, that's not doing it. Can we do that on the front end? No, that's no longer valid. Just not getting it done. So I don't think I mean, you can get some interesting shape with these modified border radiuses. I've never. It's not my favorite shape. I don't trust it. It's a syntax I don't understand because I haven't explored it. But in this case, it's not helping us at all, and that stinks. What would be the last thing to try? Well, what if? Okay, so can we get half of this shape? 0, 0, 100 pixels, 100 pixels. No, 0, 100 pixels, 0. So that would be this concept. Okay, so let's make it the margins. So we would need 2 of these, right? And then the second one is going to be reflected. So rather than using margin, we'll do margin height of 150, width is whatever it is. Display a flex. And then we need this to be centered using margins. So that scales it on the x-axis only. So that's what that is. All right. Okay, margins 50, 60. There's that. How about 150? 200. 300? No, that's having no new effect. So how do we get that circle? How about back to a radial gradient and closing it, and we get rid of the border radius. Plonk, like that. Plonk. Circle. At 100%, 50%, 100%, comma, transparent, comma, that number. All right, so that's kind of what we're doing. 4, 3, 29, 28, 27. Is that top margin wrong? 1, 59, 58. Make it a little taller. 51, 52. Make it a little wider. 0.5. 41. So let's make this margin 0, right? And then actually, let's do, instead of this, we'll do justify content, center, align items, center. All right, so where's my guy? Oh, because the width is too wide. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.5, 40. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. So is that too wide? That's too wide. Yeah, that's too wide. Okay, so we need to be smaller. 40, 36. So it needs to be a little wider, right? Is that the shape? Maybe. So now let's do what? Well, I could do a scale, but that's going to be a mistake. So by scaling the body, we get this effect, right? So what happens if we do this? Not too bad. It's all kind of ridiculous. I'm going to submit this. It's not worse. I think at this point, this is a 99.9% one. There's just no getting around it, unfortunately. I have heard tell that a clip path can do different things. Literally a point. That's another approach for one like this. That sounds really bad. I can't argue with working code, of course, but that doesn't sound very fun. Like that's the complete opposite of fun, particularly when we've got submissions that really look pretty good. Like that's a fine submission that I don't. Well, so that one is not totally fine. Let's see. Let's resubmit that one. Nope, still 99.9%. So this will be stuck, and I won't minify this because it's not done. Frustrating. Still kind of fun, like all the different ways we did it, right? We did it with these radial gradient, linear gradient. We did it with an element with this background next to another element with a big outline. We did that again with the element with the color, and then an element with the border, all set with margins. We did the same thing again with them absolutely positioned. We tried different variations of the numbers. We did two elements side by side, or we did those elements by trying to adjust the border radius. And we did two elements each with adjustments to the border radius. And then we did the two elements each with a radial gradient constraining the outside. And then we augmented that with some scales on the body to try to tune the size. The one thing we haven't tried would be what? Okay, so the one that we haven't tried would be 4 elements. Let's try it. Why not? Why the heck not? Let's display flex. Align items, center, justify content, center. They need a height and a width. The second 2 need to be darker, so I'm going to put a D element on them. So their backgrounds need to be a var of dash 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 C or a default color. So, and then the other 2 need to be with a D. Reset that color. C of that. We also need to do a scale of a var dash dash x or 1 and a var dash dash y or 1. And then we've got our x attributes dash dash x of -1 and then of y. We're all just setting up the standard kind of things that I do to do this kind of an effect. We need to flex wrap. So the second one is flipped on its x-axis, so it gets an x. The third one is flipped on the y-axis, so it gets a y. And the fourth one is flipped on both the x and y axis, so it gets x, x, and y. Then we need a border radius of 0, 0, 50 pixels, something like that. And then it's important that we have our margins correct. Right now we don't. 3, so what, 10? Oh, then we're centered right now. That's no good. So we need, so I'm going to do display none for any siblings. So that'll hide the other 3. Okay, and then this exposes that we've got that slightly wrong. It'll be add a 0. Oh, no. 0. So we wanted 50, 0, 0. Like that. All right, so now with margins, we move that into place. 50, 60, 100, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then the height needs to be 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3. And then that border radius is significantly more. Or is it? That's not doing what I want. All right, so let's do this. All right, what do we got wrong here? Oh, because that's not quite doing what I want. I have a flex. Oh, I've got no flex wrap. That's the problem. And then that. And our margins need to be 0 on the element. Oh, and worse. Let's do our display line items. Justify content, center. And that's not helping. Why? Are these these heights wrong. Possibly. Just not getting it done. 76, 75. Nope. That's not better. Am I going to give up on this approach? Maybe I am. Yeah, maybe I am. Is this like any characters on my keyboard that I can attempt to colorize or do anything with? Not really. It's not an emoji. It's not. Nope. It's just no good. Some interesting shapes. We've certainly explored a lot of different interesting shapes here, but no, this is not getting done. I'm going to go back to my first solution and end there. Thanks for playing along and watching. Sad that I didn't get the 99.9%. If I get an inspiration, I will do a follow-up, but more than likely I will not return to this one because this is I feel like I've exhausted all the things that I know how to do. And I also think that if I were given this design to implement by a designer, I have satisfied the brief, right? Like, this is a perfectly usable piece of code and looks fine. Like, that's great. So, you know, I have done my job. All right. I know I always say, you know, CSS is fun, and CSS is fun. You know, what are you gonna do? Make something cool with CSS. You can obviously do a lot of different things with CSS, and I've shown many ways, many choices here today. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.